And we are back with a competitive series between Copenhagen Flames and Neon in the ninth round of the summer season of the Nordic Championship, brought to you by the Monster Energy DreamHack Studio. Now, Neon, they struck back trouble, and they did it with a fiery passion off of Haru, Rain, as well as Voluxa there, the unlikely carry coming in hot. And you said to me, what is going to happen when they ban the guy's Corky? Well,
I mean, he's the new guy, so if you want and you need to win this game, I mean, we have intel that Flames have actually locked in their spot at this point, but you definitely want to win to secure, a better seed. But the fact is that the new guy comes in. Why don't you focus him? Put him on something that he's not comfortable in, that he's not been practicing, that he's not been playing for these games so far. What he's been very comfortable on is the Corki, and they show it by even first picking. They're like, all right, it's the safest pick. Long range, ADC. We're going to pick that. Nothing kind of counters him. He will actually get to his power spike, even if he has to go through the hex stringer kind of route. So it's all good. It's all peachy. But what if you take the Corki away from Velux's hand? Where do you throw him in? What does he pick? Is he a priority then for Neon still? Or is he something that they're going to have to counter pick to make sure he doesn't lose in lane? So this is the big question mark, whether or not Copenhagen Flames are going to choose to target that player or not. Now, the next question mark is that even if Neon win this game, Lance Minot, they have not secured the place yet. Dusty is gonna have to lose the next game versus Ventus, which is a very hard game to win also for Dusty. So the chances are, if Copenhagen Flames wins here, Neon are out for now. If Dusty loses next game, though, and Neon loses, then Neon are back in because on the head-to-head between them and Dusty, they have actually beat Dusty. So
a small correction. Neon is actually 3-5 in the standings, with Dusty being 4-4. So if
4-4.
Neon
Okay, so
wins,
Dusty goes through.
yeah, Dusty goes through. If Neon loses, guaranteed. With Nordic also losing out, so there's no room for upsets with TFT here. And I'll get to that in just a moment here. So if Neon loses, Dusty has qualified, and we have all of our playoff teams set. It will be MJ as well as Dusty and Copenhagen Flames, and then the exact order is decided by win percentages, head-to-head, and all of that jazz. But those will be your playoff teams as well as the top three. If Neon, according to our bird that's whispering in our ears, with room for corrections later on, I do believe that if Neon wins, they do need Dusty to lose, because they still have the head-to-head versus them in a similar game score, and they'll both be 4-5 if Dusty loses versus Ventus, which is a likely scenario. So if Neon win, then Dusty absolutely have to beat Ventus, and that's a tall task ahead of you. And a small update, since we're talking about meta
Ooh,
standings
spicy
here.
update.
Okay. Dusty 1-2 means that they are ahead of both Neon as well as one
Requiring them
other
to win at least
team.
one game, though,
So
right?
yeah,
Even if they
so
lose.
it actually all comes down to Dusty taking one game off of Ventus should Neon manage to get a game here. So you can see exactly why we have, or the games that were broadcasted were these two in particular, because they interplay in such intricate ways that it's up in the air until the last second, providing that Neon gets the reverse sweep here. Obviously, if they're out, then everyone's locked in. And just one
And
quick
then we might be seeing some Katarina plays.
yeah, nuts. And all about the Katarina. I did say that he was going to play Katarina Yamera, right? If he made it to playoffs, so something that Trouble can look forward to. TFT also
I think that's
2-0
why Yamaru
Nordavin.
subbed out, so he doesn't
Yeah,
have to
maybe.
actually play the Katarina they made.
It's true, maybe they want to lose it so that he doesn't have to play it in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
TFT did 2-0 Nordavin, which means that our top two seeds going straight to the semifinals will be double Sweden with Falcon and the Final Tribe. The Final Tribe will be first seed. Falcon will be second. They are both seeded for the semifinals and are guaranteed a top four finish. So Sweden representing here, coming in hot.
I mean, are you even surprised? We came
No.
into this tournament and we're like, who do look like favorites? Ventus, sure, they've got a great lineup, really strong players. But then the thing that strikes out the most is the Swedish scene. And from what they've shown us, like, it kind of goes into circles. So Ventus has beat TFT, but TFT has beat Falcon, and Falcon has beat Ventus. So they've kind of all beaten each other in a circle, which, sure, you've got the first team and the second team, but they're all tied on the same win-loss scoreline. So I think they're all three equally strong, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the further stages when they go head-to-head yet again. Now, we have moved into straight into picks and bans, and I really want to see if Copenhagen Flames are going to choose to get rid of the core key, or are they going to find another solution, or like give Veluxa his comfort pick yet again.
Yeah, we talked about whether or not they have to ban out the corky with that vanilla flavor coming in. There's no surprise when you're up against a corky. Really, you know what it's an enemy that you know that you're well aware of what the corky does and all of that jazz. So no real curveballs if Neon want to default into that pick once again. So they seem to be choosing to leave that one up. There is still room for first picking it, obviously. So if they do that, they're truly committing onto Veluxa here. But we are into picks and bans. Kiana, Yumi, as well as Rek'Sai taken away from Neon. It's Silas, Aatrox, and Zaya in response. And the first lock-in, is it going to be the Corki to steal it away? I think not. I honestly think that Copenhagen Flames will put more priority on their bot
I
and
think it
jungle.
could potentially be, because first picking the Corki here, you can actually flex it. There we go.
Yeah,
You
there
can
we go.
actually flex it to be as well in the bot lane. We have seen this happen in the Elysia as well. So it's a great first pick. You keep your mid laner safe. You can flex down the bot lane if you don't like that and you want another matchup for your mid laner. And it's a great all around pick, because then you take from Veluxa his comfort away. Now, what do you have? Is that Akali going to his hands? Is the passive
Oh, wow.
mid laner becoming aggressive? That is the question.
Or is it horror saying, you know
I
what, you guys
don't think
think
it's
it's going to be
Haru.
Veluxa? You
I'm
don't
gonna be
think so?
honest
Why is
here.
that?
I do not think it's Haru on that Akali.
Why?
I just don't see it fitting his playstyle. He likes to play more fighters in the top lane, Gangplank, Mordekaiser, Camille, Aatrox, that sort of stuff. And I just don't see him as an Akali player. Plus, remember, having that assassin in the mid lane can really help you translate pressure throughout the entire map, having that assassination going around with your jungler. Hazita yet again locking in that Ezreal, going for the safe route. You know, you gotta keep your boy safe in the bot lane, okay? But the Kai'Sa has gone through the cracks yet again, which means that this is indeed Eden Fox onto the Corki, and Gooby is gonna go in the bot lane with Kalira on the Nautilus.
Kaiser Nautilus is just another one of these
That's a nasty
staple
lane.
lanes. It is. It's true, and it's worked so well off of or for all of these bot laners in this tournament. Like
And it stops you
everyone
from
seems to be able
picking
to play it.
Rakan. Now here you can't pick Rakan if you want to
Watch
engage,
him.
which you do, because you've locked into squishes so far. So you want to have the engage in your hands. But do you pick the Rakan? No. I love this. I love that they've gone with the Sejuani, insta pressure in the early game, get Veluxa ahead, repeat gank over and over again. And this is exactly what Rain is really good at doing. Play towards your top side, keep your bot side safe, and it's a recipe for success. On the other hand, of course, you can't really count these guys out. I mean, Eden Fox or Corki, we've seen him over and over again. He's pulled 2 wins on it on screen as well, so he's really good with the champion. Of course, Gooby, no stranger to Kai'Sa either, and the Nautilus can never go wrong in the hands of Kalira, which loves dictate every single fight and loves to be the one engaging. So I'm dying to see what the rest of the picks will be. I am expecting Haru to have the counter pick in the top lane. This is what Neon has been doing so far when they're on the red side. So I'm expecting to see maybe a Morgana coming in for Neon potentially.
Perhaps a Morgana coming in to obviously, get that black shield for that depth charge off of the Nautilus. But at the same time, Copenhagen Flames, I feel like they need to draft themselves a second kind of front line here with that double ADC composition. They're very susceptible to obviously a potential Veluxa or Haru Akali, which has been locked in, right? And Rain Sejuani being straight up on top of them could be really difficult to shake. There's that Morgana that you mentioned, perfectly there. Shuts down at least a very telegraphed Nautilus ultimate by Kalhira. So speaking of front lines, Renekton, does that fit the bill, Trouble?
Oh, it definitely does. It's a very spicy pick, especially for the top lane, because you don't easily get countered. Now, say not easily getting countered, Jace is still in the game, and Reigns versus melee kind of is a suffering game for the melee. But here, if you're Niswiz, you have to go with the safe pick, and the safest pick for the top lane right now is that Renekton. He kind of, I won't say wins every lane, which is true. He kind of does. Unless you put something like an Azir up there, a Jace, something along these lines. We've seen the Azir top lane in the LCS, if I'm not wrong. Uni playing that in the playoffs, so it could potentially be it. And
I
oh
love it.
my
I love it.
god!
Okay, so who cares about frontline? You could just drop some shields in there and empower your ADCs.
Double
this way.
ADC, no
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. So looking for this Ardent Sensor kind of a things kind of build for Younghound. This is a completely different style, mind you, coming out from Young. And the Mordekaiser instead. So likely to be an Akali at the hands of Veluxa. I'm super excited about that. I
Oh
want to see what
yes,
this
I'm
guys can do.
intrigued.
And Haru's Mordekaiser is nothing to scoff at either. So it's going to be explosive, I feel. I say explosive, but at the same time, there's an Ivern in the game. So, I mean, yeah, that's measured in some way at least.
Yeah, but you say there's an Ivan in the game, but there's also a lot of squishes on the side lanes. Is this going... Okay, because I was sweating for a second there. I was sweating seeing them not swap their champions with only 5 seconds left. I'm like, I'm not ready to analyze an Ivan bot lane right now and a Nautilus jungle. Thankfully, they did me the favor, and yeah. So basically, that route on the Ivan, with combined with the CC on your top and bot side, could potentially give you a lot of kills, because you've got so much CC in between the Nautilus and the Ivan that one Black Shield is not going to save Tiara on a flash route from Kalira, and 2 more routes landing on top of the Morgana. So very squishy bot lane, very susceptible to ganks. You've got great CC lockdown on your side if you're Copenhagen Flames. You've got double AD combo with a lot of shields, with a front line, with an angry crocodile mid game, which he can actually 1v4 at this stage if he's even, of course, with Haru's Mordekaiser. And I do like both sides here. I feel like the game changing factor in this is going to be Veluxa. Are we going to see Veluxa game 1, or are we going to see Veluxa game 2? This is where the scale is going to start tipping, depending on his performance.
So you're saying that Neon lives and dies by their substitute? That's
Not
a bold statement.
necessarily, but it's a fact of getting that Akali ahead. Playing on an assassin, you need to get ahead early game. If Luxa falls behind, then I don't see anyone else on the map which could actually, keep the game rolling. That assassin needs to get rolling. You saw what happened when Enden Fox did not get rolling on that Akali in the previous game. He fell so far behind that he couldn't assassinate anyone. Sure, he had a fantastic, surprising 1v2 down there killing Azata, but that still doesn't justify, his Akali play, because he was still super far behind. So give Veluxa ahead, get him rolling on that assassin. Oh, fancy
Nice
P.
sidestep there.
Flash.
Haru, I mean, yeah, Flash away. Nish, who is committed there with that stun as well. But I mean, hey, so both top lanes are now flashless. Now, if that doesn't spice it up, I don't know what will.
Oh, baby, we're going to have a lot of action up top side.
Look at the response.
Ooh, that is sneaky. I mean, you have to expect, you have been seen, you need to expect that Neon has gotten into your jungle and at least has wounded. Oh boy. I think they have a feeling I think they've got a feeling there. Oh boy, there we go.
Oh, he takes the blasting cone. Kalhira.
no!
Oh, he misses the binding.
Tiara,
Point
what?
blank. He misses it. He was literally standing on top of Kalhira and it whiffs. So all of these dark binding memes, throw them out the window because what's the hitbox on that one? Interesting stuff.
That's 0 out of 1 so far. Oh wait, no. 1 out of 2. 50% hit rate. There you go. It's going up.
Brilliant.
It can't get worse now, okay? It was 0%. It can't get worse.
Issue. The ball is rolling for TR. But yeah, that was questionable. Kalhira found the angle there to get out of the situation, but it does seem to be this.
I think it was mostly over juking the juke. So
Yeah,
you're expecting him to juke, but then he walks straight so he doesn't juke. So you're juking the juke by not juking. I hope that made any. I hope that made some sense.
My analyst is broken, guys. He's caught up on the word juke. But yeah, so that is. Oh no. But yeah, there does seem to be this traditional kind of jungle swap we see so often there with when Ivern's in the play, right? You sort of give up one side of your jungle, and then you're sort of forced to answer with that invade of your own, and that's going to cause Rain to be on the bot side. Are they looking for a potential dive here early on? Surely not.
Surely not. No, there's no way this is going to happen. Rain back, he's level 3, he's half HP. You definitely. There should be a lesson to anyone who's trying to dive a Nautilus. Just straight up don't. You cannot dive a Nautilus. He has way too many tools, not only to stay alive, but to root you in place for long enough so that you take too many tower shots. And Gooby is not just going to stay there with his arms crossed on top of his chest and look at you. He's going to be putting down the pain. So definitely not a good idea. But the two jungles are going to come head to head.
Such is the case, but Young roots Rain up and leaves politely, just leaving the camps alone for a short while. So Rain successfully bullying Young away from his own jungle side, but watch him, looking for that top side, but there's full awareness now. They seem to be scouting this Ivern pick quite well.
I mean, the thing is, with Ivan, you're not really a fighter. You don't want to take the 1v1s because you don't have your companion Daisy. Once you do, you could potentially look to put Daisy to tank there for you while someone else is coming to your aid, sure. But right now, you've got absolutely no damage on your kid. Eden Fox, though.
Eden Fox, he's going to get stunned up, but watch Young. That's the annoyance of the Ivern. Root actually hits. It forces Velux's flash. So flash for flash in the mid side. Both solo lanes completely devoid of that mobility summoner spell off of a successful response now by you.
So Rain had the great idea there to go mid lane and try and force a flash, but they overchased. What they didn't keep in mind is that Young could be lurking around, and I'm really weirded out that they didn't expect Young to be around because he had been spotted on the topside river through some woods, so they knew there might be a possibility of him lurking around. Obviously, that didn't cost them any deaths, but it cost them double plus versus one only missing on Eden Fox, who has a jump, and he can actually get away if he so wishes to. And also, Young is an Ivan. He can play around him all he wants. Put some bushes in there, get your Corgi hidden. He can actually CS from there. Now, that is a Mountain Drake that has just spawned on the map. And the team that has the most priority is definitely the team who's going to be getting that dragon. Oh boy, Azator.
Actually lands Kalhira with a nicely placed anchor by Azator. Do you think this grants Opening in Flames enough priority? Just keep going for these kind of small trades? Because Azator is very chunked at the moment. Or is Dragon just not going to be a factor for quite some time since both junglers are busy elsewhere?
I actually think it is going to be a factor. I'm just expecting Rain to play a bit more aggressive. Haru, though, is in trouble.
Haru, Young with the flash, gets the root. Nicely played there. He's tanking the turret, but Nichuis doesn't have the damage. So a cheeky play there by Young. I like it. I like the enthusiasm. But Nichuis just did not have the will for the follow-up. And Rain is also waiting in the river entrance as we see some mid lane shenanigans go on as well.
Alright, so that costed Young his flash, which means he's super squishy if Rain finds him. Well, Young is casually clearing his jungle right next to Rain, clearing woods out of the enemy quadrant of the jungle, and I just again, it feels like Rain, ugh, he's trying, sure, but it's kind of falling short. I mean, that Kai'Sa is only going to be getting stronger and stronger than your Ezreal. You've got the edge up there. Sure, you can't get engaged because you've got the Morgana. You know, you've got the heal on Tiara, which is another problem right there. You don't have an Ignite onto your support. So if you get down there for the play, if you want to get some kills, which you don't, because you usually don't play against Azita, then how do you make this happen without the Ignite? It feels a little bit chaotic right now from both teams. I would like to see Rain going for a beat gank now that Eden Fox does not have his flash available. Once Velux's ultimate comes up, try and pick a kill there, and by having the priority in the middle, you can translate it to bot side pressure, and then translate that into a Mountain Drake.
So there's a lot of steps, ladies and gentlemen, in the way of us and a Mountain Dragon potentially being the target here. Neither team has really made any sort of formal effort to try to secure that one for themselves, or at least secure some control over the area. It's very slow and steady kind of game here. Yeah, apart from the ganks that force some flashes, sure, but a way more calm and collected kind of ordeal than we saw in the previous games. Actually, on the top side, Nishu is going for another fight onto Haru. He keeps on baiting me with his name. And it's seemingly Haru who wins out in just a small way. We'll be able to heal up using that shield later on. But watch Eden Fox. He's going to get caught out here. Veluxa does have the ultimate available, finds the Shuriken, and it is going to go onto Eden Fox right here. The final execution is there. Yeah, remember, doesn't have flash, and that's going to be the kill steal by Rain. Slaps him with the flail, and Eden Fox falls to first blood. And meanwhile, on the bot side, Azure gets hooked, but luckily for him, does have that arcane shift. But nicely played there by Veluxa primarily.
I mean, that was all Veluxa there. Rain clearly just went in because she was like, chase to try and grab that assist because you couldn't touch Eden Fox otherwise. But that was 100% Veluxa. Well done to the substitute of Neon coming in and proving that not only he can play the passive, but he can also play the aggressive lane. And now I love this from Rain because he has the level 6 and he is ready for the counter gank.
He's looking for it right there. He's sitting on top of a control ward as well, so they don't know that Rain is here. But look at Young, he's there as well. Black Shield is way late, and Young's not stunned up by that Sejuani ultimate. The Glacial Prison locking him down, and the Killer Instinct by Gooby is going to secure a trade kill for Copenhagen Flames off of the first blood earlier on. Look at the packet. Fox beautifully executed there. He's going for more, and they're hungry. Copenhagen Flames, they want to lock in this fourth place for themselves, I believe. And are they really going to tower dive here? Surely not. But that's 2 kills now, and both at the hands of your Kai'Sa, who's looking to scale into the later stages.
Okay, so that was a little bit of a misreading, I would say, by Neon, because when that Ivan pops in, the shields, the damage, the lockdown that comes by Daisy, plus all of the CC that comes out of Kalira and the damage output by Gooby is much more than what Tiara and Azita and Rain can output. So I think they kind of miscalculated how much damage would go into the enemy team and how much damage they would take. At some point you really, surely, after 2 games of playing Ezreal, you can obviously see that Azita cannot output any more damage. Haru, though, in the top lane.
Seem like it, yeah. Haru banishes Nish, who is to the Shadow Realm, but they have enough durability, both of them, to just brawl it out for quite some time. This fight is going on for absolute ages, but look at these sustains from both of them. However, Haru did not expect Young to come in. It's gonna be the kill finally off of the flash. After both of them have their flashes respawning here, is going to be Nish who is to lock that one down. He uses jungler, but on the other side of the map, obviously that opens up for Rain to secure that Mountain Dragon. And a Caldera locked in by the Dark Binding. Neon Esports, they want to grab something here, and it's Rain who gets the second kill. Crucially, not on Azure, so he's continuing to be starved in comparison to his ADC counterpart.
100% Stormbracer already completed on the Kai'Sa. Instant.
Nice kinetic dodge, but he's gonna get still rooted up there. And Azure finally gets that shutdown kill onto Gooby and secures quite a bit of gold for himself. Sitting on 2k. So beautiful gank there by Rain. They needed that one.
He must have gotten a big sigh of relief from us. So he was like, oh, finally a kill. I'm including three fights right now. I haven't gotten any of them. And Tiara, of course, getting the revenge bind right there. He can get from Kalira. Of course, beautiful ultimate coming out of Gooby right there to sense that Rain was sending that ultimate down his face. So great stuff. Again, Haru in trouble.
Are in trouble in the middle of two. Young and Nish, who are looking for this one. I think he doesn't have the Shadow Realm available to him. Nice pushback, however. It's going to dissuade the tower dice. So nicely used there by the handed of the Mordekaiser right there. And, you know, he survives despite it looking so grim for him.
He does, and I feel like Haru is a great player all in all, such as Nish, but they both have the same problem. They kind of don't read the map as well as we would like them to. So they will overextend the situations where they don't have to, such as Haru, they're trying to take the 1v1 with Nish, who is, but then you have absolutely no clue where Young is. And sure, Young does not output that much damage, but he puts out the sustain and the lockdown. And this is what people should be scared of. They see the tree coming at them, and they're like, can't put any damage down though. But he doesn't have to, because he has a team that can do so much damage. All he has to do is keep them safe and lock down others so they can output more damage.
I love this Herald spawn here in the bot side to assist Gooby with that turret takedown. Obviously, when Neon rotated their bot lane up top side, then it opens up for the aggression in the bot side, and they waste no time pulling the trigger on that one. Going to be the first turret, going onto the hands of Copenhagen Flames. There's still plenty of plates left to take though, and they seem to be pushing for it.
4 members closing in.
Copenhagen Flames, they're on their way, trying to look for it. Nish, who is on the meanwhile, tries to wave as best he can. Watch Kalira, and they will be able to defend their turret, but not before about 4 plates or something went over in the hands of Neon.
Yeah, they definitely took the entire bot tower, so they kind of freeing their bot lane from having to be down there. This is why you're seeing, you know, the top laners now finding themselves down there, having to defend the waves, and you have to put the most safe member of yours if you're Neon down there without a tower, and that is Haru on that Mordekaiser, because you can convert the 2v1 into a 1v1 that you can potentially win, and then you can possibly turn it around when you're outside of the realm. So great stuff right there. You have the Mordekaiser put him there on the lane that has no tower. He's going to stay safe. He's going to be fine. He has to farm to be the big menace late game that we've seen Mordekaisers be. You know, being on the side lane and absorbing 1 and 2 or 3 people towards them while you're making cross-map plays. And this is exactly what you want to do if you're Neon Esports. Now, does the map split open for Copenhagen Flames? Absolutely. You've got the double ADC composition. All the support items are going to start raining in. Redemption already completed for Young. You've got a Stormraiser Kaiser who's already ahead. This time, though, because Veluxa was able to get the kill onto Edenfog is going with the more defensive sort of route here. He has to build the Hex Drinker. What does he know, though? 3 members of Neon Esports on his tail.
Yeah, Hex Drinker ain't gonna save you from 3 people coming at you. However, a package certainly will, and I adore that Hex Drinker pickup. Trouble, because just look at Neon's composition, right? Look at the amount of magic damage that's coming in here. That's a must pickup, I would say. Even Nish Huiz is going for it. So a lot of respect.
Sure, I mean, there's a lot of AP. Literally every single champion you're gonna look at is gonna have AP. This is what I'm expecting the Ezreal to go the AD route, whether that's Blade of the Ringing into Bloodthirster or something like this, or Blade of the Ringing into even a Gunblade. Some armor penetration for sure. You need this ADC to actually do AD damage and not go, you know, the Death Cap route, because then they're gonna be lacking so much damage because everybody's gonna itemize towards magic resist, and you already have 2 Hex Drinkers, which earlier into the game, they're really hard to break.
They are, and we're going to see just how much they will matter in this coming fight. Eden Fox destroys that top lane turret and will be TPing in. It's actually Ray who secures it here. No steals coming in. And Haru banishes, I couldn't quite tell. I think it's Gooby on the sideline. It's a messy fight, however, but he slays Haru. Do you really want to banish him? Flash forward by Kalira. The hook or the anchor lands onto Onto Tiara, I believe, and Aztor is soon to fall. It's a triple kill for Gooby, who got those 2 kills in the early game. This man's set for the game, and as is Copenhagen Flames, it seems.
I mean, that was a great flank by Eden Fox there. He was on the side, so he was pressing Azita and Tiara outside of the fight. And when you're Mordekaiser, if you're behind, your thought process is, okay, do I take into the realm somebody that I can 1v1? Or do I take in the realm the most fed player of the enemy team, and then I keep them in there as much as I can, so hopefully my team can take the rest of them 4v4. This was the thought process of Haru. He takes Gooby into the death realm, but he doesn't end up coming alive himself. Gooby comes out ahead, gets another triple kill, 5-1-0 on this Kai'Sa, who is thriving. Eden Fox is in trouble, but he'll be fine with his flash.
Yeah, has to flash away, but that's a crucial summoner now burnt away by Rain onto Eden Fox, and that's exactly what you want. These small advantages to try to, you know, every little bit matters. It adds up, these small advantages, and perhaps that's going to translate into a dark binding hitting or a perfect execution stun landing and all of that jazz. So good stuff from Rain.
And again, Rain, I haven't really been impressed with his performance into this game. Maybe it just doesn't fit the Sejuani that much because you're kind of, the tank. You need to be in your jungle. You need to farm a little bit. You can't just be from lane to lane to lane like you can with Jarvan, with the Rek'Sai, with the Lee Sin. But we haven't really seen him in this series, favoring these kind of junglers.
Meanwhile, on the bot side, Rain, Eden Fox dodges out on literally everything. The
oh my
flail
god,
and the
Gooby!
knockup. Meanwhile, Gooby, though, he's so confident. The flash forward, look at this man go. Redemption's coming in.
Wait a
Soul
minute.
aren't gonna land, but Gooby, what a play. He's emboldened like there's no tomorrow trouble.
Wait, Gooby, such a beast. Tower dives on his own Azita underneath his tower, grabs his flash, and a beautiful flash over Tiara's binding to get the finishing kill. Of course, he had the redemption over the Bayang who wanted to keep him alive. This is such a great team composition around a double ADC. And they played this so well to try and get Gooby ahead, to try and get that Kai'Sa scaling much faster than she should be. That's a hyper carry. She should be that hyper carry, 30 minutes plus. Well, guess what? We're not even 20 minutes in. She's already there.
Gooby seemingly a little bit out of control. Those 2 kills in the early game down the bot side ended up mastering a whole lot for this Kai'Sa right here. Is able to translate that into a very flashy play. So big ups for him. And there's a big problem though, however, because if Neon do manage to ever get the lockdown onto Gooby, then suddenly they're not as strong. Yeah, you got your Ivern, you got your Renekton, and a Corki who isn't that fed necessarily. So yeah, it's great stuff from Gooby as well as Kohira, right? But at the same time, the onus is on them to really, truly solo push these advantages as hard as they can and force Copenhagen Flames to play around that. Now, Baron is spawning.
But you can't because you have no way of reaching the backline. Because if you have a Luxa trying to flank and 1v1 Gooby, and then you have Haru over there as well with the Death Realm, if you take Gooby into the Death Realm, then Veluxa is not going to be able to do damage on him anymore. And Aztor is definitely not going to be able to poke anyone. He's going with the AD build. Oh, they might catch Kalira.
Start finding. Kalira gets start finded and stunned up. The CC chain is right there. Eden Fox, meanwhile, dashes with the package straight over the wall. Failed flash by Rain. Oh no. You hate to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Bashes his head straight into the wall, but at least Eden Fox and company are forced away, and that's a win for Neon, a win that they sorely needed.
Oh, 100%. You're taking down the lockdown for Copenhagen Flames. You're starting the Baron yourself.
Look at this guy. The assassination, and crucially, he's also right on top of the TP coming in, and now Rain is also eliminated straight up. Double kill for Gooby. This man is out of control, and it's just clean up city for Copenhagen Flames, and Baron Nashor is surely to be there.
5,000 gold lead for Copenhagen Flames. Baron for themselves. 3 towers up. They're probably gonna go and take the dragon as well. This is looking very clean, very nice. play from Copenhagen Flames. Great macro game. They're focusing on what the strategy was. They're following it to a T. This is great League of Legends coming out of Copenhagen Flames. And Gooby, my God, if there was an MVP this game.
Yeah, he's in it to win it. Wants that fourth place finish, or fifth slash fourth, dodging out on Ventus in the potential semi-final, or no, the quarterfinals. Sorry, obviously, you're no longer, if you're Copenhagen Flames already locked in your playoff spot, you're no longer worried about that one. So you want to dodge out, potentially get a semi-final showing against one of the Swedish teams. I believe it to be Falcon. If they manage to win the quarterfinals, obviously. So they're looking ahead. They want this game finished, and Gooby says that he's ready for playoffs already. Trouble. This man is on fire.
Definitely, you wanna show your good face as well. It's not just about okay, our place, so we're just gonna try things out, because Neon is still playing. They're still in the competition. They're still trying for their spot, and if you're trying things out, then you could potentially take away a win from a team that would otherwise, have it if you didn't, experiment and try things out. So I'm enjoying this, but Gooby, a little bit overconfident.
Exactly what I was talking about earlier. If Gooby goes down, what does Copenhagen Flames do? Now that's, the Iron also taken away, so all of the peel and all of the damage is gone. Surely Eden Fox will not be able to do anything, and yeah, Gooby dies, and it's gonna slow the momentum. I think Copenhagen Flames will still be able to bounce back, but it's up to Neon to stall as much as possible until they can get back on their footing for sure.
And it's so unfortunate that every single shutdown, every single kill has been going into Rain's pocket. Had it gone into Velux's pocket to try and push that assassin further into the game. Hold on though, Eden Fox is in trouble.
Yeah, Rain goes on to Eden Fox in the middle of a kill here and him, however. Nice dodges by Eden. It's actually going to be Rain who gets locked down. However, the rest of Neon is here. Here comes the cavalry. The entire crew comes in, but Gooby's still alive. Watch the AoE, the Rune on Hurricane.
Oh my God.
Only is going to be a quadra kill for this man. The flash forward by Azator absolutely annihilates Gooby, murders him on the spot. And Aztor's saying, hey, you've been getting away with too much for too long. Time for me to strike back.
I mean, let's be honest here. I think Gooby's playing a little bit for the show as well.
Perhaps a little bit. In the bot side, Nijuri is beat out on Haru there in the bot side, which crucially so will be able to teleport back. He's got a fair amount of gold, of 1,500 for himself. But yeah, that's another aspect that we obviously have to give a little bit credit to. Nishu is beating out the side lane, and look, he's just too far away. There's no way Haru's ever going to win that, surely.
So there's 13k sitting in Gooby's pocket right now versus almost 10k for Azata. That's a 3k difference between a mid-game scale in ADC and a late-game scale in ADC, with more of the money being into the late-game hyper-carry ADC. Runan's now completed onto this Kai'Sa, and all hell is gonna break loose in the next game. And mind you, this is a fight that Renekton had almost no part in. I have not seen Nishui's apart seen him on a side lane, and this is a Sojin's Black Liver Hex Drinker Crocodile that will be coming at you if you try to fight. And I just, you know what, I see everything on Neon Esports except consistent damage. There's just no consistent damage. That Mordekaiser has not been doing great on the sideline, and when Haru suffers, it feels like Neon Esports kind of suffers as well. They kind of fall apart. Veluxa saw he had a great showing at the start, but now he's kind of falling behind. Because Kai'Sa is so strong, you can no longer 1v1 and assassinate the ADC, and this is a problem because who else are you going to assassinate? The Corki? Fine, it doesn't really matter. Gooby counts as 3 Corkis.
Yeah, pretty much at this point, 3 Corkis indeed. Has not picked up that Infinity Edge. I don't necessarily think that Nichiru's has to join the team with Gooby being as young as he is, and with the peel coming in from young. It just comes down to Haru to realize that he's, he shouldn't go swimming in Florida waters, right? He's in some serious swamplands with Nichiru is roaming around doing pretty much whatever he wants. So I don't think we have to see this guy joining the team, right? But watch Rain on the sideline looking for something. But at the same time, obviously Haru will always be the first one to roam, so perhaps they should rethink a little bit. But what do I know, Pavel? There's a fight going on. Nishui's on the side of the bot line. Haru gets his shield broken with the changes at 9.15. Gets banished to the Shadow Realm. Flash away. There's a shutdown onto Goofy again. So Neon, they're set. The Shuriken lands. Neon striking back. The depth charge onto Azator is going to hit, peel him away a little bit. Kalira is doing his all best to peel away from his ADC. Surely he can't get away, but at least Eden Fox gets away, and at least Nishui's does as well. So I said Haru will always be the first one to join. Neon, they're striking, and they're striking hard.
All right, so a little bit of a miscommunication here, because if you're going to pick a fight under a tower, Eden Fox.
Oh, it's a big oof.
Eden Fox.
Gunblade active. Here comes Nishui's, however, but Eden Fox is emboldened here. Flash forward, but the crit is coming in. However, Ignite was dropped onto him, but that is now Veluxa. As you said, who are you going to assassinate? Corki? Doesn't matter.
No way. Nishui's?
Do anything. Yeah, Nishui's teleports in onto 4 people. What is he doing? That's a 1,000 gold shutdown, but it goes to Tiara, however, and that's now Neon with Baron priority.
Wait, is that a tactic? Is that what you call tactical inting? Like, do they have a strategy behind their mind of why that teleport was over there? Because we've been criticizing Neon's teleports. What was that?
I don't know. Usually we've seen it coming from Veluxa and Azure on the other side, but now Nishu is coming in with the tactical in. Goes for the Spirit of Strife. Baron has been started. It's down to 1.5k. Can Young get into it? I don't think so. It's going to be Rangers that kills it, but how many people are going to fall? Haru gets sniped off by Goody despite banishing him to the Shadow Realm. Not the guy you want 1v1. And yes, Copenhagen Flames, they trade back with 2 kills, but that's Baron on the side of Neon, and crucially on one of their split pushes as well, and that surely will help them defend against an angry Copenhagen Flames.
Oh, I wish we just had a replay here because so many things happened. So Nishui's decides to dive Haru underneath his tower while the entire Copenhagen Flames are trying to get through the jungle. Goopy gets caught for it another time, and everything falls apart because Nishui's kills Haru underneath his tower, but then he can't really do anything else because he falls too low, so he has to back off. So Crocodile is not in there. Then you only have Eden Fox, Kalira, and Young. Then Daisy ends up going down, Young ends up dying, and then you have no front line whatsoever. Eden Fox tries to hold, but Neon cleans up house. So it was a great transition towards Baron, but they lose too many people at Baron, and Copenhagen Flames have too many people alive, and they end up getting mid lane inhibitor. So it feels like no matter what Neon does, no matter how good it ends up for them, it ends up translating better for Copenhagen Flames because they have more members on the board.
However, they are grouping now as a 5-man unit in the mid side. Azator is fairly strong. We'll be able to melt these turrets as well as Volux if he can hit if you can get close enough to hit them. Obviously, with that Rabadon's death cap now completed. So, I mean, at least there's an answer here. They got the mid-outer turret, finally, for Neon.
Oh, that's man. That 1 and 6. Ugh. It kind of hurts. It's the kind of 1 and 6 that I would be seeing AFK in my fountain in a solo queue game. Lance me not. 100%. But Haru is a team player and he doesn't give up, and he needs his team to win right here because this is literally the last chance. If they lose this, Dusty is automatically in the playoffs. Copenhagen Flames have also secured already the spot, and this is a showing of the fact that, okay, we might have had our spot, but this is our time to shine. We're going to show what we can do when we get into the playoffs. So, oh boy.
Hitting as well. Rain under fire by the double ADC composition. Looks like Killer Instinct depth charge is going to lock up Rain. Will Rain be able to cost his Glacial Prison? However, he doesn't. I believe the Redemptions are coming in. Double Redemption. Mind you, and Gooby, look at the amount of damage that this guy can output in such a short amount of time. And surely this will be Copenhagen Flames opening to charge down in the mid side. The Danish second seed are looking for a 4th/5th seed going into the playoffs. Can they do it? Scooby's firing onto Haru. They don't have a minion wave. Will they be able to back away and assist it?
Excuse me, I'm just gonna say that was a double ADC engage. It was Eden Fox diving in with the package, Gooby following up with the killer instinct. Wait, what's going on? Wait a minute.
Wait, what's up?
It's the two ADCs in the front line, and then the rest are following up. I'm absolutely loving this. Gooby is giving us a real showing right here of what's to come when they go into the playoffs.
A real hardcore performance, MVP for sure, but obviously he does have the entirety of Copenhagen Flames trying to enable him as much as possible. I mean, you're playing an Ivern composition with a beefy front line with Kalhir, a split pusher to keep the top laner away, so the stars have aligned for Gooby to really have this kind of performance as well, as much as we can praise him. Obviously, but at the same time, Neon is striking back. They're looking for these windows, Trouble. Watch, they're trying to create some sort of death bush, but the question is, does Copenhagen Flames have a reason to walk this way? Blue buff is up.
Not really. Almost 2 minutes for Baron. You're definitely not going to be going there. You don't see anyone on the map apart from Haru in the mid lane, so you must be thinking, okay, there's nowhere else in this map that they could be, so they must be creating some sort of, fanatic burst to try and traps in, and you definitely don't want to have Gooby, face checking because he's actually playing frontline at this point. So you have to play as safe as possible. You see that they're trying to scout right there with the Kai'Sa and try to find where actually Neon is, because you can't really be face checking with the binds and the Sejuani over there. Now that it's more safe and Young is actually playing the front line like it should be, they're actually going to start establishing some vision around the Baron area, and this is where stuff is going to start becoming difficult for Neon Esports, because you have not much wave clear. You need to wave clear the mid lane at least. Both sides are pushing towards you, and Baron is spawning in 47 seconds. So this time it's time for Neon Esports to try and blindly face check.
Yeah, they
could potentially get caught.
Yeah, they could. It feels a little bit like we're in the eye of the storm right now, Trouble. So much action has led us to this point, and with these tentative scouting moves with the 4-man units from Copenhagen Flames, now having to be responsive, it's gonna just blow up at any second, I believe, with the double engagement.
Oh, Daisy!
There's Daisy spawned.
Wait,
Kirby, I mean, sorry, with the Killer Instinct. Redemption comes in, TR is gonna dodge out on that one, however, it's Eden Fox who picks it up. And that's a quick 1-for-0. TR now not available. Baron is spawning within what? Now, I suppose? And they had so much Baron damage, Trouble. What does Neon have to say about this one? It's going to have to come down to some sort of miracle steal. Or miracle. You can't even see it.
I don't think you even need rain steals right here. Anything can actually happen.
Could do it. Watch him. He's going in for it, but it is Young who secures it. Rain obviously does have the addition of Veluxa by his side. Haru banishes Nish, who is to the Shadow Realm, but he gets killed off inside of it. Oh, I spoke too soon. There is that stopwatch. Oh, actually double stopwatch, yeah. He's gonna go. No, there's no way. Gooby with a snipe. Obviously do have that control award since before. And that's Baron. It's 2 kills for Copenhagen Flames. They're looking strong, they're looking determined, and the base is theirs for the taking.
Alright, so Gooby is in Terminator mode. He's like, I touch, I kill. There's no way he's gonna auto-tap someone and not try to go in with Killer Instinct and finish him off. So he touches Tiara, he's like, alright, I'm going in. Oh boy.
Hook onto Veluxa. Dark Binding is, or Dark Shield, I mean, is so late. But what's the issue? He's so deep. Ignite is running. Luckily, he has.
Talk about deep.
Yeah, talk about deep. Gooby's almost in the fountain. Auto attacking the friggin' cannon minion for a little bit of lifesteal. We've seen this one before, by the way. Surely the next is going to fall this time, however. And Copenhagen Flames, they secure their 4/5th place seeding, and Neon Esports are eliminated from playoff contention. GG, well played.
And guess who else just secured yet another spot? It's none other than your favorite Landsminot. Dusty have also secured themselves a spot. Which
Hey, don't call out my bias right in front of everyone. Come on out, Trouble. It's supposed to be
safe. You have expressed your I don't know how to call it, like your happiness, your excitement about Icelandic teams, and one of them has actually made it into the playoffs. Actually huge. So Ventus versus Dusty, I'm expecting it to be a very fun game because both teams have actually secured their spots. There's no way for Ventus to get first or second place, so they're stuck in third place no matter what. I think seeding still counts for Dusty, if I'm not wrong, so they're gonna have to try for these. But back to what we just watched, Copenhagen Flames clean, secured what they needed to whenever they needed to, all the neutral objectives, made sure they get the Barons down, put the kills onto Gooby, Gooby front line, Gooby engages, Gooby kills, good game, well played, so surgically clean, apart from one teleport from Nishuiz, which might have been a tactic. I don't know. He's just tipping into 4 people all alone. I don't know. We might get an insight on that one. It could actually be in a tactic, but yeah, very clean from Copenhagen Flames. Unfortunate from Neon. Uh, on the second game, I actually believed Sinvaluxa onto that Akali. I actually believed in the last game as well. I was like, oh, this guy has a lot to show. He seems like he's really good onto that assassin. Ended up not being the case. Absolutely not one man's fault, of course. The entire team just kind of seemed to fall apart in the third game. Congratulations yet again to Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, congratulations to them. Obviously, they do qualify with a potential, I should correct myself here, with a potential top 5 finisher here. Because here's how the situation is going to play out according to some calculations that we've got going. We also have someone doing the math in the sidelines there. So surely, I assure you guys, we got someone working on it. But MJ, they are sitting now at a, I believe, 54.5% game win percentage. With Dusty, if they manage to win 2-1, we'll be sitting at 52.4%. If they win 2-0, they'll be sitting at 55%. With Copenhagen Flames now at a 50% win ratio, and they're all like, if Dusty wins versus Ventus, right? If Dusty wins versus Ventus, then it really does shake up a lot of things. If they win 2-1, then they will get 5th place. MJ will get first. If they win 2-0, Dusty will get first. MJ will get second. Copenhagen Flames will get third. That is 6th place, obviously. We're talking about in regards to these teams. And the crux is that they're all rotationally 1-0 against each other. So we got another kind of potential tiebreaker into the very last minute. And it might just come down to game win percentages to decide who will be facing Ventus in that first quarterfinal. However, we still have one match left to play. We'll see how it all plays out in just a few minutes. Stay tuned for Ventus versus Dusty after these ads. We'll see you in a bit, lads.